This is episode 5, The Garden of Grins. Leo's grandfather was famous for his prize-winning roses. They were the reddest, largest flowers in the county. But when Grandpa passed away, he left Leo a strange instruction in his will. Never water the garden with the hose, only use the blue bucket in the shed, and never, ever look at the roots. Leo, being 15 and bored, followed the rules for exactly 3 days. On the 4th day, he got lazy. He dragged the garden hose out and sprayed the entire rose bed. As the water hit the soil, the ground didn't just get wet, it gasped. Leo froze. A low gurgling sound rose from the dirt. He knelt down, squinting at the base of the largest rosebush. The soil was churning, bubbling like a pot of thick soup. And then he saw it. Emerging from the mud wasn't a root. It was a finger, a pale, fleshy finger with a perfectly manicured nail. "What the?" Leo started, but he was interrupted by a wet pop. Another finger poked through, then a palm, then a whole hand. It wasn't a skeleton. It was a fresh, living human hand, growing out of the earth like a weed. Leo scrambled back, his heart hammering. He looked around the garden. All the rose bushes were shaking. More hands were sprouting. Some were small like a child's, others were gnarled and old. They were reaching, grasping at the air, their fingers twitching in the sunlight. Then came the faces. Slowly, the bulbs of the roses began to peel back, but they weren't petals, they were eyelids. A dozen eyes, all different colors, blue, brown, hazel, opened at once, blinking rapidly against the sun. Below the eyes, the soil split open to reveal mouths, rows and rows of wet pink mouths, all stretching into wide, identical grins. "Grandpa?" Leo whispered, his voice trembling. The largest mouth, situated right under his favorite red rose, stretched so wide the dirt around it cracked. "Leo," the garden whispered. The voice didn't come from one mouth, but from all of them at once, a wet, overlapping chorus. "We're so thirsty." Leo turned to run, but the grass beneath his feet wasn't grass anymore. It was hair. Long, tangled strands of human hair that wrapped around his ankles like green vines. He tripped, slamming into the mud. The hands reached for him. They didn't want to hurt him, they wanted to plant him. "You have the perfect skin for the winter frost," the garden gurgled. "You'll make such a beautiful centerpiece." Leo felt the cold, wet fingers digging into his pockets, pulling him down into the soft, hungry earth. He looked up at his house, just a few yards away, but it felt like miles. His mother leaned out the window, waving. "Leo, are you finished gardening? Come in for lunch." Leo tried to scream, but a rose vine, thick with thorns that felt like teeth, slid over his mouth. He looked down at his own arms. Small green thorns were already beginning to sprout from his paws. The sound of a shovel hitting soft earth, followed by the cheerful chirping of a bird that suddenly cuts off. The next year, Leo's mother won the county flower show. Everyone said her roses were the most lifelike they had ever seen. They almost seemed to watch you as you walked by. And if you listen closely to the wind in her garden, you can still hear Leo asking for a glass of water. This has been The Outsiders Show. I am Dola. Remember, some things grow better when they're left alone. Good night.